Hi, it's Marie, and I'm here today to talk about the mini album that I developed for the Beautiful in the Making Circle group, and that we're going to have a class on. And I thought it might be smart if I did a video, and that way if you can't see or come on Saturday, you'll be able to look back at this also. So this was the original one that I did, and this was based on a sample piece that Anna showed using the Salon Nouveau, one of the project box pieces. And I just really loved how it looked. And so I did this one. I put a ribbon on this one. And this is an add-on. Tiffany pointed out that the new geometric border that looks like a ticket is perfect for the edge of it. The back side of mine has a pocket because I'm going to send it to a cousin, and it'll have a note for her in there. So if you've never seen it, it'll tie shut. These are all pieces from Salon Nouveau kit, but this is how it'll look. So you want to save the bracelet die when you cut out so that you can frame the photo. See how it looks different from, say, this one. I haven't glued this in yet. Where there's no edge to it, this really dresses it up. So whatever, you don't have to use Salon Nouveau for this to make this album. You can use any die set, and I would just recommend one that you can make a bracelet like this, because it really adds to it. I just have this tacked on there so I could show you. So it opens like this, then this flips up, and you have one more, and then it goes one more up after that. So that's 1, 2. I like this too. This is from Salon Nouveau, and just staggered it so that there could be a title here or something. I do like that one too. I like it all, honestly. Then this side flips down, so you have 1, 2 here. So far, let's see, we've got 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 places. Altogether, you end up with 14 places. This side over here, what happens is you have a photo on this side. You open it out this way, photo here. I just did a decorative piece on this one because I just liked the way that looked, but you could put a photo there. And then inside here is like a little journaling tag. So this one's a pocket. It's a piece of paper, 5x7, only adhesive on 3 sides, so you can slide the pocket in. And I just folded one of the decorative pieces in half for a pull tab plus the ribbon, and then you can write on the back. It's kind of a hidden pocket. So anyway, this is the one. It was similar to this that they did, and it's one of the pieces that we will be doing if you're attending Create Spring 2026. So what I thought is I'd go over. There is a PDF in the group for people that belong to our group, but if somebody happens to hop along this and they're not in the group and you can't get this file, but this has all the cut pieces, 12x7. The first sheet you cut 12x7, and you get a 12x7 piece with full scores at 5, 6, 11, and 11.5. A second piece is 8.5 by 5 with scores at a 1/2 inch and 1 inch and 8 inches. The second sheet, you need 3 sheets of, if it's a solid. If it's patterned, you might take more than that to keep your design directional. So the second sheet, sorry, is 7 by 10 3/4, and you score at 1/2, 5 1/2, and 5 3/4. And then this bottom piece is 5 by 8, scored at 7 and 7 1/2. And the third piece is just 5 by 7. And this included the layout and some sample pages. But I do have those pieces here that we can talk about putting them together. And then I'll put together another album that I used a different design on. So here's you have 2 pieces that are 7 inches, and they're the longer ones. So those 2 pieces are going to be your spread across horizontally. So there's a fold here and a fold here. You're going to overlap a 1/2 inch like this. Oop, I want my magnets. So that'll stay like that once it's glued. Then you have just a regular 5 by 7 piece, and so you'll be left with a 5 by 8 1/2 by 5 by 8. So the bottom one down here is the 5 by 8. And anytime you put in these folds, put them on the inside, not the outside of your album, so that you won't be seeing so many seams. So this one will stay here. And then up here on the top, see if I can get this all in here. Same thing, the 5 by 8 1/2, the 1/2 inch here, and then up here at the top, the 5 by 7 onto that top 1/2 inch fold, and then it'll all fall into place for you. So let me get this out of here and move in. This one I'm doing with Canton Bleu because I really liked the way that pattern, and I have a lot of it left for some reason, so it's a perfect time to do it. So I've already started putting magnets on this one, so we'll talk about that. So again, these are the 2 long pieces. What I'm going to do is adhere this to this fold right here. I'm using red line tape. And I would actually recommend you probably do the seams on this with glue also, so it really holds, because there's going to be a lot of movement. The photos add weight to this. So let's put this, can you see this? This pattern is directional. It's hardly visible on this one, but this is where you need to make sure that the direction of your pattern goes so it all flows. So if you have a pattern paper, you're going to have to use more paper to make the base. If you don't have enough, it's fine. A lot of it gets covered up. So I put that one down. Okay. Now, let me talk about the magnet, because Michelle did a magnet and people were asking me about doing a magnet. So if you fold your piece up like this and think about it, this magnet's going to be on the inside of, this is the front cover, it's on the inside of that. Where it's going to adhere to is over here, which is like right here on the other side of this one. It's like right here. Okay, so how I got that there was I took a piece of this tape, I put it down. The magnets I'm using are these. They're rare earth magnets off of Amazon. And because this has got a lot of weight to it, I did these. They're like maybe an 1/8 of an inch by 1/2 inch. And they're super strong. So I put down a piece of tape, put the magnet, one magnet on top of it, put this tape on top of it so that the magnets don't because I'm going to want to cover this up, and I'm going to want extra adhesive to cover it. So I laid the other magnet so it was stuck on top of here. I put a piece of tape, another piece of tape on the bottom side of the magnet, and then on the top side I had another piece, and I took off the liner so that when I closed it, they stick together, and it'll stay together that way. Okay. So that's that. And if you can do a ribbon, you can do a magnet, you can do both. It's your piece to make what you want it. Or you could do nothing. I'm sure it will be just fine with nothing on it. But I like those little decorative pieces. Okay, so I have 2 longer pieces left. I'm going to take this one because I only have one fold down on this side. And I'm going to put it here. And line up it at the first 1/2 inch. And I can see my score lines. Okay. You want to get this straight. That is one of the important things, is to get that straight. So that's on. Now up here at this top is where the 5x7 is going to go. So I'm going to attach that first. I'm excited to see what patterns people use and what you use it for. And I'm also excited because, you know, let's see what we do in Create, in that last class. It looks exciting. It all looks exciting to me. So where is my... I got a special pokey tool from Deborah at the retreat, and I use it for stuff like this, and it's not within my eyesight right now. Okay, so line that up and see how the directions are. It just flows all, like it's all wood grain up and down. And then what we're going to do is put that piece right here. I have to find something to tape off with. Okay, there. So, trying to make it so you can see it. I need it this way. A little closer to me. Okay. Hopefully not too much of my head's in there. Too much gray hair, probably scare you. Okay, so there. So now that's assembled. It's ready to be decorated. So what I used for this one is the birthday wishes, because again, you get this bracelet die. I have a whole stack of them over here that I can lay on top of the photos. And I cut out the extra ones, you know, the center of it, just to have them cut. So that's what the major layout ones are. But on the front of mine, I also, this album die from Create 6, this is the cover piece. This is going to go on, this is going to be the cover of my album. And so I assembled these all ahead of time so that you wouldn't have to watch me glue so much stuff. But see all the, you know, this is just out of that pattern pack, and they all go together. They all look good. You know, it's, I like the variety. So let's put some of these in here. Like this one I'll put in so you can see, see how it covers that magnet. So let's take some tape. I've gotten this Alta new tape and I really like it, and apparently that was the last piece. Oh, maybe I can get inventive and get another one. Okay. So take the tape off, liner. Okay, now, before I put it down, that's when I have to take this tape off of here, which is where I really need. I need something pokey. Don't lose your pokey tool. Get it with this. There. Okay. Okay. So there's that. And then you just start putting these on, decorating your book. Photo will go here, just nice. Let's pick this one to go next. And then, of course, after you get your photos on, you can do all the embellishment stuff. I guess you got to pull the liner off, Marie. I have a couple of different versions of these inside things, modifications that you can do to this to make it more special. If you have things that, like tickets, let's say you want to add tickets to this. So I came up with this design so I can put this down, you know, wherever I want it. And it's just one of those clasp envelopes, and the tickets can go inside. So how I did this was, here's my template. So it's 9 1/4 inches from top to bottom and left to right. And you cut out 2 1/4 inches in and 2 inches, cut this corner out, 2 1/4, 2, cut out that corner, 2 1/4, 1, 2 1/2, 1, and then there's a fold line here, so that this is the envelope part right here, is in the center. And here's the bottom flap. I rounded the corners on things with my corner rounder, and it just gives it a more finished look. And there's an overlap in here between the two sides. That's why this one's 2.5 and this one's 2 1/4. But you can make it any size you want. You know, it just, the principle of these envelopes is the same. I have a lot of leftover borders from Canton Bleu, and I pulled my stuff out. Look at these. Look at how wonderful this would look down the middle of something if you had a little. Remember doing these and Create, for those of you that attended? So what we did was we cut out a strip of gold, I think it was 3/4 of an inch, and adhered it to the dark blue, and then die cut it afterwards, and it's such a great look. You know, there's all these different patterns and things that I bet you all have stuff in your stash. I think that would be a safe bet. So I pulled these out and, you know, used them. And then I can put this here. That's one of them. One of the extras I can do. Then, let me talk about, this is a pocket. If you want to do a pocket, it should, where it should go is on this outside piece here. So I'd adhere a 5x7 piece down, and this is the pocket part. So just adhesive on 3 sides, leave this top open, and then I just cut, this is one of the center things from that. These are pull tabs, but they were fussy cut out of the paper so that the front and the back have that. And then this is in the beige paper, so you can write on that. But if you're going to do a pocket, it needs to be someplace where you can pull. You don't want to put it in here because it's going to be too hard, you know, on the inside of it. Inside edges, the outside, this is the best place for it, in my opinion. And then here's another one, is you develop a mini waterfall in here for it. And I just took, this is a 5x7 piece. These are borders that I had left over cut from that class. And then I cut 3 pieces that are 6 1/4, 6.5 by 4. Let me show you, 6.5 by 4, and you score at a 1/2 inch. And then what you're going to do is you put down the top piece, and then the next one put down like 1/4 of an inch, and the next one 1/4 of an inch. So you've got overlap, but you've got space there. And you have room to journal or whatever on the back or add extra photos. And then to do the bottom of this, I wanted to replicate what I'd done on the sides. I just made sure I lined up 3 pieces of the border, and they're in lines so that I can, everything looks orderly that way, you know. And then you can put that, this one can go anywhere because it can flip. It might be easier like right here though, or right here. Anywhere you want it, really, it'll work. So those were some add-ons that I had done. And then let's talk about, okay, so this flips down, this flips up, this flips this way, and then let's put something here. So I have the other magnet part. my tape off of there. And then I think I'll put, let's put the bird there. Oop. You know what happens when you get a magnetic watch band with working on these things? Kind of figured that out. It doesn't work real well. Oop. Sorry, goofball here. It's taking me forever to get this tape off. I need an adhesive fairy, huh? Okay. Bird, we don't want the bird upside down. And let's put that down here. And then let's talk about if you want to put ribbon on yours, you can. But I would do it before you put this on. So the ribbon only gets adhered to this very front, the binding, the edge, what do you call that? Book edge or whatever, and to the back side, and you would stop it here. Stop it here, so you can tie it. So I don't know. I have this ribbon. I haven't decided, or the gold. The gold might be kind of nice. So anyway, that's how this is coming along, and I hope to see a lot of you this weekend when we work on this. And if you have any questions, let me know. I will try to answer them. And I think I said everything I need to say. Thank you. Have fun. Let me see what you make. Bye. I'm back. I decided to play around with this and put some layers together so you can see more of it. So this is kind of what my front's turning out like. I think I have like a gold button or emblem or something I want to put here. This is the front. And I did put the ribbon on mine in addition to those magnets. So here's the ticket on this side. Here's the ticket on this side. The back has just got room for another photo. And let's go to the inside. See, the magnets hold perfectly well because they're only going through 2 layers of cardstock, actually. So this is the inside front. This is the flap to the side. Opens. And we have, I actually put all those things. The pocket in a row, the extra things. The pocket is here. So that opens. I put the envelope here. And then when you get to the middle, this folds out. So remember when you're putting it together, this, you need the extra fold here because it takes care of the height of this extra layer here. So these are just kind of basic matted. And then I put the waterfall in here. So yeah, this is fun, and I look forward to seeing what you guys do with it. Like I said, mine's not done. I have a lot of embellishment left to do to it, and I have to print the photos. And this is just with playing. So I hope you had fun, and see you soon.